back in 1980, whatever, when Angela Bassett was nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It, there's no way you can look at every movie in that category and not tell me that she didn't deserve it. Also, if you just watch it, it is
Yeah.
absolutely insane. So really happy for her. I want to talk about some of the scenes that she carried because I do genuinely think that she carried this movie on her back. Like every actor in this movie was amazing, but her acting was on a different level for this one. It was so emotional from the very first scene that you see her in. When Shuri, it kind of opens out with Shuri praying, which is something that she does not do ever. She's a scientist, so she doesn't believe in all of these gods and an ancestral plane and all things that the Wakandians pray to. Kind of a jab at modern religion too, because the further we get into technology, the more people start to become atheists. So Shuri is an
Yeah.
atheist, and the movie opens up. The very first words you
The,
hear.
the thing that's funny though is that that is true for real life, but like that shit is just real in the movie. like
Yes, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the guy
yes.
it's funny because like in our reality like there's no proof that it's real, but like in their reality they do a prayer, drink a juice, and Superman becomes real. Like
Yes, no, you're 100%. That's what's funny about Game of Thrones too. Remember how we talk about Game of Thrones and how some of the gods we can't really tell if they're real.
yeah,
But the Lord of Light,
he's
the
real.
fucking Lord of Light resurrected the Hound, cut somebody in half. Okay, he cut a guy. I think his name was Beric Dondarrion. He cut that guy in fucking half. And Thoros of Myr started praying. The red whatever shit they say. He started praying to the Lord of Light, and Derek Dondarrion got back up
Yes, he did.
completely. Like he
So
completely got back up. And there's a lot of other stuff that happens in Game of Thrones that proves that the Lord of Light is 100% real. Like it's you can't even debate. It's just the it's real. And it's funny you say that because yes, in the MCU, the gods or whatever they pray to in Wakanda are 100% real, but Shuri doesn't really believe in them. And she doesn't believe in them because bad things have happened to her, which is what causes a lot of people to become atheists. So in the beginning of the movie, I actually love that it starts off the very first words of her saying, "Please, if you heal my brother, I will never doubt your existence ever again."
hmm.
And then the doors open, she walks into the lab, and it's this chaotic scene. I love this movie from start to finish. It's like chaos. All these scientists, they're all working around the clock and frantically trying to create a synthetic heart-shaped herb. And that is the same thing you take to become the Black Panther to get all the superpowers. And it will also heal him of any illnesses because apparently it keeps you from ever being sick, which is broken, just like a nice little thing. Like you can't even get a cold now, which is like just an added effect, right? So they're trying to create a synthetic heart-shaped herb to make Chadwick Boseman, the original Black Panther, or not the original, but the one that we know in MCU anyway. But they're trying to make sure that he doesn't die because his heart rate is decreasing. So her AI is talking to her and is saying, your brother's his heart is failing. And then one scientist says, "You should go be with him now." And she's like, "I don't have time for that." And she's like, what's the chances that this heart-shaped herb that we just made is going to actually produce the result that I want? And her AI tells her it's only at like 22%. And she says, "I don't have time, print it." And he's like, "Shuri, I don't think that this is going to work." And she's like, I can't be bothered with that right now. Like the self-doubt and stuff like that. This is the best we got. If 22% is the highest chance I have to save my brother, she's like, it just has to work. So she starts going to print it. And then she says, she asked the AI, "What's my brother's heart rate?" And every time she asks that, it gets lower and lower. And then it just stops responding. And then her mom comes in, Queen Ramonda, and she's like, "Your brother is with the ancestors." And the second she says that, so I don't know if it's because, like, I'm just gonna say this. I don't know if it's because I am African American and like this movie is obviously very based in Black culture and just like Black people and their struggles and like all stuff that we've gone through and go through. And I immediately the pain in her voice of like losing her
Hmm.
son, it just made me start to tear up. And then the movie goes into his funeral scene. And what I love about it is it's kind of a cool juxtaposition because the funeral part is a bit sad too, where they're all dressed in white, which is a contrast to what we normally do in American culture, where everyone wears black to funerals. They all wear white, which I think is actually pretty cool because it's more of a celebration as opposed to something to necessarily be sad for. And so after they say, like, they have his casket or whatever, and they kind of say their words, and it's really emotional. Then it goes into the actual celebration where everyone in Wakanda kind of comes out in their white outfits and they're dancing in the streets and they're like super happy that he has gone to the ancestral plane. And you see this really big mural, and they show Angela Bassett's character, Queen Ramonda. She's like, she's walking towards, I guess, where they're going to take his casket up into the ship and fly it off. But as she's walking, it goes into a slow motion thing. And as it goes into slow motion, you see her face, you see the sadness, and then they showed the mural of Chadwick Boseman, right? And it stays on that for like literally a minute. Like there's a minute of the movie that is just dedicated to his face with like these words on it in Wakandan language. And it's just really, really, really sad, but also a happy moment that they're celebrating at the same time. Like they literally show all the people dancing and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it's so
celebration of
cool.
his life and him going to the next plane. It is really cool. It's a cool for the character in the series. It's a cool way to handle what unfortunately happened in real life. It's also cool. It's cool that the movie plays like what would kind of play out as a dedication to that character, how it would happen in that universe, but also it plays out as like a dedication to the actor as well. And
Yes.
it's done like it's just done in a really, really well way. In a way where if for whatever reason the storyline was written that the Black Panther died and all this stuff, like I don't think it would have been as drawn out. Like I feel like they
Yeah.
they did more for it because not only was it a celebration of the character in that story, it was a celebration of the actor. And then in my opinion, it ended up really helping the overall feel and tone of the movie because that's the kind of celebration that would have been given to that character anyway. So
Yes. I really do love how they honored him in the movie, and I think that they did the best that they could do with having lost the actual actor in real
yeah,
life. Like, there was a lot of, conversation about what to do with the Black Panther because Chadwick Boseman passed away, and some people were like, "Oh, well, there shouldn't be a Black Panther anymore," and I think that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's stupid to just downright say, like, there should just not be someone to replace him. We've had 18 Batmen, 18 Supermen, 23 Flashes, 14 Wonder Womans. Like, there's no reason that you can't have another Black Panther because the actor died. Like I love Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther as well, just like anyone else. But at the end of the day, I'm a person that believes the show must go
also
on.
the whole point of the Black Panther is that like the power passes on to somebody else. Now, granted,
Eventually,
in
yes.
that first movie, that all those plants got destroyed, but if anybody on any planet thought that was going to be the last Black Panther, they're fucking kidding themselves. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, the most advanced technological country on the nation is going to find a way to recreate the Black Panther powers.
Yes. So I was really happy that the way Marvel did it, I think they did the right thing making Shuri the next Black Panther. Apparently in the comics, she actually does become the Black Panther for a period. So it's not a complete ass pull. It's not like they made Queen Ramonda the Black Panther. Like it's
Yeah.
not something crazy. It could have been M'Baku too,
The,
but they make Shuri the Black Panther, which is canonically correct.
the only thing that threw me off was like when it was getting closer to it, because when she was like when she laid down on the table to drink the juice, and then
Yeah,
again when she's in the Black Panther suit, I was like, man, she's just really fucking skinny. Like,
she is.
she's just really skinny, and like it's fine, but she's really skinny, and so to me visually, she doesn't fill the suit out well. You know what
She
I mean?
doesn't.
And
But they made her like a actual black cat.
yeah,
And
yeah,
in
yeah,
a sense
yeah,
of she's very fast, nimble, and very hard to hit because of her actual stature. So the way her Black Panther, because they seem different, like hers and Chadwick's seem very different. The way hers moves is more like an actual cat. Like it just
yeah.
has
It did feel
this
very
very
very cat like. It was funny because I saw I don't remember her name, but on this wallpaper, maybe remember the name. The girl on the left, she was the spy.
I forget her name too. I
She was like their
literally can't
best
remember.
spy. She's the shit. Anyway, I was like she could fill the suit out better. Like she has a thicker
Yes,
body. And then obviously the one guy, the fucking the dude,
M'Baku.
yeah, he's the man. I
He's
mean,
hilarious.
he might be too big to be the Black. He's like the Black fucking lion
He
or
would
some
be
shit.
he would be
Like
terrifying
he's
if he was the
huge,
Black Panther.
but yeah, he'd be so
I think
scary.
I think he'd be broken because you get super speed anyway when you're the Black Panther. Like
Yeah,
that comes with it. Shuri's probably just really, really, really fast because of how small she is, but he would also just be fucking fast as hell. Too
he's a
fast to be
tank.
that big.
Yeah,
And
he's a
he's already
fucking
super strength. He's already has super strength too, because he does stuff that I'm like, okay, you can clearly tell, like you said, these people are above normal human level. Like they're basically Batman realm where they're peak human.
yep.
So for all intents and purposes, the Wakandians, the ones in the military, they do have like super strength. Their durability is much higher than a normal humans would. I think at one point, I want to talk about this too. Okoye, when she fought the main blue general guy, I love that scene, by the way, where there was no sound. It was just all action. They were on the bridge. And at first he gets like a couple good licks on her, and he does a noble thing and says like, pick up your spear, let's fight, like let's act, I'm not going to hit you while you're on the ground. So he like kicks her spear over at her. He turns his back, and he's really cocky. He like turned his back, he's like doing a little walk around thing, like a really cocky, like, I'm stronger than you, I think I can beat you anyway. So she picks up the fucking spear, she gets it, she's like, all right, you want it, I got you. And she starts fighting, she starts fucking this man up nicely. Like she does that one thing, she grips his neck and like mashes one of his eyes or something like that. She gives him a nut shot at one point.
Yeah.
So she gets a couple good licks at him, but then he does this crazy ass thing where he jams the spear into the ground and clotheslines her arm against it.
Dude, when she spun her around and she pinged off that fucking spear,
and then her arm was broken. Her arm was literally broken backwards. I say, yo, this guy is too much. But again, to kind of emphasize the fact that these people are peak human or above human level, she literally, as she's crawling backwards, and she realized that he's not going to attack because he's like really noble. He will not attack her on the ground. While she's on the ground, she literally like breaks her arm back, gets back up and starts fighting again. Like she just completely goes through, like a human can't do that. We can't re-break our arm and then grab a spear and start fighting again. That's just not something that a normal human being can do. Like sure, you can re-break your arm to fix it, but you will not be able to pick up a spear and start to actually fight somebody who's on that level.
You'll also scream in pain. Like,
yes.
It's insane.
So
speaking of action sequences and the way the new Black Panther fights, bro, one of the best action sequences in movies, in my opinion. What an awesome fucking fight scene is when they're fighting on the side of the boat.
Yes, that's what I was talking
when
about.
they jump off and they're on the side of the boat and they're like swinging and clanging and hanging and all this, and they're moving around, and then like there's the part where like they're on the ropes, and like the men are holding the women as the women are running along the side, and then the one girl comes down and she has her spear, and like the Black Panther fucks some people up and then like does a flip, swings off the spear like fucking Donkey Kong, flips, goes over here. Like, bro, that shit was crazy.
When they showed Shuri finally come in as the Black Panther, and she started slashing people with the claws, then she would kick off of them and do a backflip, and then she would like start to run like a cat. That's what I mean. Chadwick, he had obviously cat-like fighting style too, but it's just different. Like hers was like a house cat in a way. Like it just looked really fucking cool. I love all of the action sequences. Like we did talk about Namor when he invaded Wakanda, which that scene, another great moment for Angela Bassett's character, because she ends up saving the Ironheart girl, which was really dope. And I love that she got literally blasted by one of those water bombs they have. Those water bombs look really dope.
They do. They really do.
When they first used one on Okoye on the bridge, because they were like, what's taking you so long to deal with this fucking person? Like, we don't have time. Why are you taking so long to deal with this girl? And they toss these, we don't even know what it is. They toss this bag to him, and then he kicks it to her, to Okoye, and she slashes it with the fucking spear. And when she slashes it was like, big mistake. You just made a bad move. And they explode, and it goes into slow motion. It looks really sick. It's like literally a water grenade, so it blasts her off the bridge and into the water. And I was like, no, I thought she was dead at first, but I was like, no. And then come to find, she just literally just got blasted by it. Hey guys, if you like this clip, we have full video versions of our podcast episodes available on the I Am Nerd Patreon, as well as exclusive content.
If you'd like to listen to our full podcast episodes or find us on any other social media platforms, you can do so by clicking the link tree below.